Welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are giving away all the stocks that are buzzing away in trade on the back of technicals and research. And on technicals, we are now joined by Vaishali Parekh, who's the Vice President Technical Research, Prabhudhar Leeladhar. Hi, Vaishali. And of course, on our research, from our research team, we have Snehisha joining us. But Vaishali, you have picked out GNFC for us as a first stock. From the fertilizers and chemical space. In fact, this space, wasn't moving much, and suddenly the space is back in focus. What are you seeing for Gujarat, particularly for GNFC?
Hi, very good afternoon. So yes, as you rightly said, full fertilizer pack is showing a lot of strength and technically very well placed. So I think this stock is looking quite robust for a target of around 720, 730 to start with. And I think the risk reward ratio is also very favorable. 650 should act as a near-term support, so I think one should go for this.
Okay, let's move on to the next one that we're talking about, and that is Honasa Consumers. This one also is in focus on the back of a big block deal that's happened in Honasa Consumers. Block deal worth around 291 crores that took place on the exchanges, 66 lakh share change of hands, which is representing 2% stake in the company. And overall, what we understand that the sellers of this is Fireside Ventures as well as Sofina Ventures, which are likely sellers of the deal. Now, both of these were both the companies were holding around 5 to 6% stake in the company. This is as of March 2024. So shareholding as of for Sofina Ventures was 6.16% as on March 2024, and Fireside Ventures was 5.28%. So yes, some part of their stake is what they're looking to sell, but Honasa Consumers clearly under pressure today.
Okay, another stock after Honasa, another stock that is in focus today is GAIL India, that is in focus today, and it is on the back of two brokerage notes that have come out by JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. First, let's look at what JP Morgan has to say. In fact, they are maintaining a neutral stance on the stock, and they are setting a target price of 184 rupees per share. They feel that it's too early to worry about the cash flow risk, for the proposed new $7 billion cracker project. That is, 4x of FY24 estimated EBITDA OCF, and it's likely has a little return on the current spreads is what they feel, and they feel that if confirmed, this could become an overhang on the stock, but completion is likely post 2030. Now, while the stock has reacted negatively yesterday, the market is likely to focus on more of the near-term issues eventually, and the valuations leave a little upside for the stock, and on the back of that, they're maintaining a neutral on the company. Morgan Stanley is maintaining a buy, and the target price is 250 rupees per share. They also feel that the 600 billion project may start in FY31, and the board has also approved board approval is yet to be taken for this, and GAIL is diversifying its feedstock, and that is a positive for the company, and they're maintaining a buy on the stock. And on the back of that, GAIL is trading with gains of 2% in trade today.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on GAIL. Let's move on to the next stock, that is Indian Oil. Vaishali, what's the word on Indian Oil in terms of charts and technicals, and what is the level that you're keeping an eye out on for this?
So, just some time back, we saw that there was some momentum picking up in all OMC stocks, and I think GAIL has been in a very long consolidation. Currently, it is sustaining and above a cluster of moving averages. So I think it's ready for takeoff. So I would say 163 should act as a stop loss. And if this trade goes right, if it continues with its momentum, I think it's ready for a target of 173 to 175.
Okay, keeping an eye out on that. Let's move on to the next stock that we're talking about is ONGC. Now, yes, in the morning we did have a brokerage note that has come in, as well as we have some comments that came in from Hardeep Singh Puri also. But let me take you through ONGC on the back of the brokerage note. We have Jefferies, who is saying that they're retaining their buy, a target price of 390 rupees per share. They see that the recent correction provides a buying opportunity for the stock, as well as ONGC's profitability is expected to stay elevated compared to the past averages. The recent correction in the stock price was quite overdone and provides an attractive price point to enter. Also, in terms of the ramp up in kg basin production in Q3 FY25 and accretion to profitability are the key triggers for the company in terms of ONGC. Now, what Hardeep Singh Puri also did say that ONGC is to start the production soon for the KG DWN 998/2 block, and ONGC seeks tech partners for Western Offshore via global tender as well. Other than that, we've seen all these oil stocks also buzzing because what he did highlight is that the efforts will be made to bring petrol, diesel and natural gas under the GST ambit. But yes, ONGC surely in focus on the back of commentary as well as brokerage note.
Well, absolutely, Vinny. In fact, Hardeep Singh Puri also commented on ethanol blending also, and because of that, the sugar stocks is in focus. But Snehi is going to take us through the details of what the news flow is. Tell us, Snehi, what did Hardeep Singh Puri mention, and why are these sugar stocks in buzz in trade today?
Well, absolutely. So, Hardeep Singh Puri, who's the Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas of India, he's also commented on sugar today, and he said that they will be achieving the 25% ethanol blending target by 2025. Remember, the earlier target was 20%, so they've hiked this target by another 5%. And on the back of this, sugar stocks are doing very well, but it's not only on the back of a comment that was made by him. There's another reason why all the stocks are abuzz today, and the International Sugar Organization, which is the ISO, they predicted a global sugar deficit forecast, and there's been an increase in this forecast. The International Sugar Organization has revised its global sugar deficit forecast for 23-24. The forecast is at 2.95 million metric tons compared to just the 689,000 tons that they had predicted back in February. That's a very steep jump coming in. Now, while global production is expected to decrease, consumption on the other hand is expected to increase. So on the back of this mismatch, it fares positively for sugar companies, and you can see the likes of Dhampur, Sri Renuka, Balrampur, you have Awadh Sugar, EID Perry, all of these stocks are doing pretty well in today's trading session. But well, yes, other than sugar, he has also spoken about getting petrol and diesel under the ambit of GST, that the efforts are on that front. So let's go across and listen in, because we spoke about ONGC, Indian Oil and sugar. So let's go across and listen in from the man himself.
In the month of May, for a month alone, on a month alone basis, we were able to cross 15% of ethanol blending. So I can tell you that on the basis of what I have seen and the basis of the work in progress, I am reasonably confident that the 20% blending target, which was brought forward from 2030 to 2025, will be completed by the 2025 ethanol year.
पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स अंडर जीएसटी, ये बहुत स्टेटमेंट आते हैं, क्या एक कंसेंसस बनाने की कोशिश होगी?
मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊं, आपकी शब्दावली मुझे बहुत पसंद है. कोशिश होगी, आंसर इज कैटेगोरिकली कोशिश होगी. No, hold on. I am giving you my philosophical approach. I mean, as a line minister, you say कोशिश होगी means you will try. I said yes, we will try. Both MOS and I will both work on it.
All right, that was Hardeep Singh Puri. But moving on to the stock that is in focus is UPL. UPL now, Fitch has downgraded UPL Corporation Limited long-term issuer default rating to BB from BB+. Now the outlook is negative. Fitch has also downgraded UPL Corp's senior unsecured rating and the ratings on the senior unsecured notes to BB from BB+. And the senior unsecured notes have a recovery rating of RR4. And on the back of that, we did see a sharp decline come in the morning. In fact, Vinny, but it has recovered from that lowest point, is currently trading absolutely flat in trade.
Absolutely, but on the technicals, UPL, what's the word for this, Vaishali? Because UPL is one of those stocks, which is not like that much of a performance that we normally see coming from UPL when we look at it. We see a bit of a rise and then again the fall comes in for UPL. So on the technicals, what are we watching out for this time from UPL?
Actually, technically, if you see, there's a good round bottom formation, and now since yesterday we are seeing that yes, there's an increase in volume, and also it's sustaining about the 200-day moving average. So I think that makes a very good risk-reward favorable trade. With 530 as stop loss, the stock can go towards 600, 620 also in days to come. So technically, I think it's showing it's on the road to recovery.
Okay, road to recovery, 620 levels is what we could watch out for from UPL in some time for the stock. Now, let's move on, talk about Vodafone Idea. Whilst Vodafone Idea in focus now, the telecom major announced that the board of the directors are going to be meeting on 13th of June. What are they meeting for? To deliberate in terms of various proposals for overall when they're looking to see that whether they'll be raising via issuance of equity share or convertible debentures or through preferential basis, what they want to look to raise them amount from. 13th of June is the date that the board will be meeting. But also while aviation minister now Jyotiradittya Scindia that took charge as the telecom minister, what did he have to say in terms of the telecom sector going forward? Yes, he said that over the past 10 years, it's been a revolution. Going forward, what is he talking about? Listen in.
It's indeed my honor that the Prime Minister has given me the responsibility of the Communications Ministry. Both the Telecom Division as well as the India Post Division have a tremendous role to play on a global stage as well as on a local stage to enjoin the hearts of millions of people across our country and across the world.
All right, Snehi, coming to you, RailTel is the counter that you picked out for us. In fact, all the railway stocks are in focus after Ashwini Vaishnav was sworn in as the railway minister. Those stocks are buzzing away on the on the news of the cabinet ministry continuing with their journey. And RailTel is also RVNL, of course, on the back of order win, but RailTel is also buzzing on the back of an order win. Do take us through the details.
Absolutely. So on the same peg that you have picked up, RVNL have taken RailTel today. The company has been bagged an order from the Ministry of Defence for the creation of a RailTel POP at the customer site. Now this contract is worth 11.2 crore rupees and needs to be executed by the 4th of June 2025. That's exactly a year away. Now this new order win adds to the order that the company bagged on 8th of June, just a few days ago, from the National Informatics Centre Services Incorporated for the supply, installation, configuration, commissioning as well as the integration of the ICT infrastructure. Remember, this order was worth 81.5 crore rupees and today's order is roughly 11 crore rupees. So on the back of both of these back-to-back order wins, the stock is doing pretty well. It is up 8.6% as we speak.
Okay, keeping an eye out on RailTel, but let's move on and talk about Sun TV on the technicals then. And Vaishali, Sun TV, what is the view that you have for Sun TV? Currently trading at around 745. Today it's buzzing in trade, and over the last 6 months, seen a slight bit of an uptick of 8 to 10%. But what's the view now on Sun TV? Should we expect this run up today we are seeing to continue?
I think so, because it's given a breakout about 730. So important part is that it needs to sustain, and right now we are sustaining about that. So I think as a long-term trade also, one can carry on holding with a stop loss for a target of 800, 830.
Okay, sure. Keeping an eye out on Sun TV today, but let's move on and
and well, the infrastructure and manufacturing push will continue, and so will power reforms, and that's the word coming in from Vikas K. Mani of Kalenian Asset Management. Let's go across and listen into what are the focus areas for the Modi 3.0 government. Let's go across to him and then we'll slip into a short break.
I think what will continue, in my opinion, same building, push on infrastructure, push on manufacturing. Prime Minister has spoken many times about, how we need to become self-reliant. So I think those policies will continue. I think, the reforms, especially in some of the critical sectors, will continue. I mean, whether it was power, infrastructure, everywhere, I think lots of things were happening, and maybe, they will continue. Especially one sector where I think it can become bigger is probably power, because India is reasonably, carrying at a shortage of power in few years if we don't address that in a meaningful manner. So I think probably power and related, and thermal power especially, and related around that would probably get a little bit more focus, because that's a very big need of India. I think, again, within infrastructure, you could see a lot more happening on the port side, a lot more happening on the logistics cost betterment side. That I think is a very, very critical need in terms of, if India has to leapfrog from here. I think what might also find new this thing would be probably a little bit of focus on consumption as in a rural economy. While I do not believe it is a big distress, but probably I think focus will shift back to a little bit more rural in terms of either improving productivity or leaving more money in the hands of farmer. I think that could have a bit of implications on the consumption side.
All right, welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are taking you through all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. NLC is a stock that we picked out for you. Now, NLC is, on the back of the fact that they're likely to raise foreign currency loan through external commercial borrowings in a foreign currency as per the business requirements to the extent of $600 million through direct route. Also, they seek to, external assistance from the multilateral development bank through Department of Economic Affairs for the upcoming renewable power projects, and they're likely to issue corporate guarantees, also a letter of comfort to NLC India Green Energy Limited, the wholly owned subsidiary, and the Naveli Uttar Pradesh Power Limited, the material subsidiary of the company, based on the requirement. Also, in principle, approval has been given to invest up to 994 crore rupees in one or more tranches of NLC India Renewables Limited, the wholly owned subsidiary of the company, by the way of subscribing the equity shares at the face value, subject to necessary approvals coming in from DIPAM or the Ministry MOC. That's the news coming in on NLC, and this stock is trading with gains of 1.8% right now.
Okay, let's move on to the next stock. We have, I beg your pardon, sorry, IRB Infra that's in focus. And why is that so? We are seeing one more block deal. There are 3 block deals that happened today, and one of them is IRB Infra. Now we are seeing that Cintra, which is transport infrastructure developer and a subsidiary of the Spanish infrastructure group Ferrovial, is set to sell, is actually one of the sellers of that 5% stake sale that has happened today, the large block deal that we saw in IRB Infra, and they are the likely sellers of that. Now what we understand is that it's representing around the price at which it took place is around a 10% discount from yesterday's closing price, and this sale will mark a significant move in the infrastructure sector, potentially drawing interest from various investors. We're keeping an eye out on who are going to be the buyers for that. But as of now, the stock is clearly under pressure, down 5% as we speak in trade.
All right, moving on, Vaishali, SBI is what you've picked out. In fact, we are hearing that the State Bank of India is likely to raise, up to $3 billion of debt in FY25. That's the news coming in, and they're likely to raise this in one or more tranches through the public offer, private placement of senior unsecured notes. That's the news coming in on SBI. But on the technicals, what are you penciling in for this chart?
It's a matter of time, but it did show strength some time back. So once again, it is at a good level. So I would say 800, 790 acts as a good support band. And once we see the stock moving past 840, 45, I think it's ready for 900, 920. So currently it is on an upward trend. So my view is positive for that.
Okay. Positive on SBI. Let's move on, talk about Suzlon then. And Snehi, Suzlon, why is that in focus today? What's the news flow here?
Suzlon is in focus because it has announced a new order win for the development of the 103.95 megawatt wind power project from the Apmin Energy Transition Private Limited. Now, while they have not specified the quantum of this order in terms of rupees, we do have some details about this order, and Suzlon will install 33 wind turbine generators with a hybrid lattice tubular tower and a rated capacity of 3.15 megawatt each at the client site in Fatehgarh district in Rajasthan. Now this order is for the company's larger rated 3.15 megawatt turbines from the 3 megawatt product series. As part of the agreement, Suzlon will supply the wind turbines, all of the equipment supply, and execute the project including commissioning, and Suzlon will also undertake comprehensive operations and maintenance services post commissioning of these windmills. So on the back of this order win, stock is up almost 2% as we speak.
All right, Vaishali, coming to you then, Banco Products is what you've picked out for us. Tell us, what are you seeing on the charts for this one?
I would say Banco Product actually just came to my notice in the afternoon. It was, after a long consolidation, the stock has been in a good uptrend. And after a long consolidation, we are seeing some strength at these levels. And also technically, I think it's just come above a cluster of moving averages. So I would say this stock looks good. We can see an upside coming towards, to start with, I think 630, 640, and further on towards 680 also.
Okay, that's Bank of Products, not a one we normally talk about, but Vaishali has highlighted certain good points about it, so keep an eye out on that on technicals. But let's move on, and PTC Industries is also a stock that we're keeping an eye out on. Now, the company has joined a government-funded special purpose vehicle under the Make in India initiative to bolster the defense and aerospace sector. The venture involves around 530 million rupee project, which is to be establish a greenfield defence testing facility in Lucknow, and the funding for this will be covered 75% by the government, 25% by the SPV members. So on the back of that, we're keeping an eye out on PTC India. PTC Industries, I beg your pardon, it's PTC Industries we're keeping an eye out on. And yes, the project cost is around 530 million, so keeping an eye out on that.
All right, Snehi, coming to you then, you've picked out NBCC for us. This stock is, in focus in the back of an order win, I believe. Tell us about the order win and what it's worth.
Well, absolutely. So NBCC is in focus on the back of an order win. It has bagged an order worth 878 crore rupees. So that's a big order win coming in for NBCC. And on the back of that on the back of that positive news flow of the order win, the stock is doing pretty well. It's actually up 10.5% as we speak. A sharp spike coming in on the stock a few minutes ago when they had declared this order win to the street. But well, yes, they've bagged an order win of 878 crore rupees.
Surely keeping an eye out on NBCC today, perked up in trade, holding on to gains of almost 10 to 11% in trade. But what we're seeing in terms of the markets, a quick look at where the market is holding on to right now. And markets had seen a sharp recovery coming in at one point of time, was very close to those new high levels. But yes, seems like again it's come down from those levels again. Let me just look at the level. As of now, it's 23,333 is what it's holding on to. So yes, off the day's highest point, just 0.3% of gain is what we're seeing for the markets. That's a benchmark indices, while the mid and small cap continues to hold on to good gains, better gains than what at least the benchmark indices are doing is the broader market. So keeping an eye out on that. But we have some update coming on Apple, and Apple has finally revealed that it's integrating ChatGPT access into its devices, the likes of iOS 18, iPadOS 18, as well as macOS is what they're looking at Sequoia for allowing users to access its expertise, its image and document understanding capabilities and more without needing to jump between tools. Astha is joining with us to give us those details. Astha?
Tim Cook unveiled the plans to integrate the tech giant's devices with ChatGPT. Apple announced it plans to integrate OpenAI's ChatGPT technology into its devices. This means users of iPhones, iPads and Macs will have access to ChatGPT's capabilities, including its ability to understand images and documents. Apple's virtual assistant Siri will also benefit from this integration, allowing it to tap into ChatGPT's intelligence for improved understanding of user requests and providing more relevant answers. There's privacy focus too. Apple emphasizes that user will be promoted before any questions, documents or photos are shared with ChatGPT, and Siri will then present the information directly to the user. This integration, powered by GPT-4o, is expected to arrive later this year and will be free to use without requiring any account creation. Now, how will it make your work easy? Free and easy to use. You won't need an account to create a special account for the ChatGPT on your Apple devices. Secondly, it has enhanced Siri. Siri will be able to understand your request better and provide more relevant answers. Also, privacy matters. Apple has the main focus of privacy. When you use ChatGPT, your questions and any other documents or photos you shared are not stored by OpenAI. However, this news has sparked some of the controversy. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, has expressed concerns about the potential security implications and has threatened to ban Apple devices from his companies if integration happens at operating system level.
Well, clearly ChatGPT has made its way into Apple also, Vinny, but Mr. Musk doesn't seem to be very happy about it.
Absolutely. His reaction is not too pleased with the situation happening. But yes, keeping an eye out on that for sure.
Absolutely. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. Vinny and I will take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.